X-Men movie an automatic yes for each of you, or was there any?
No.
Was it? Yeah.
Desperate for the work.
What was on your mind with that, Patrick?
I was already experiencing the downside of having played for 7 years on television and 4 feature films, a very iconic figure. One director had quite recently said to me, I had been campaigning to get a role in a film. I'd read the script, loved it, and finally I got in the room with the director, who was very pleasant, until he said to me, but tell me honestly, why would I want Captain Picard in my movie? My interest in the film diminished somewhat at that point. And so when I met with Bryan Singer, took me to lunch, I said, look, I've got one wonderful and much loved albatross around my neck. I don't want a second. And he promised me, rather like Ron Eyre, who was the man who directed Winter's Tale, he said, this will not be an albatross, I promise you, and it will be a totally different experience from being Captain Picard. And of course, it has been, because the material is so very different.
Right. Right. Yeah.
I had not heard of X-Men. I didn't know about the comics. I didn't know about the TV version of it. So when the script arrived with Bryan, I'd just done another film with him. I looked up the comics. Well, if you see Magneto in the comics, he's terribly, terribly and he's all... He's usually shot from underneath, so... And I thought, I can't wait to slip into that gear. Well,
so to speak.
Anyway, it was explained to me that I wouldn't have the chance of wearing those sort of costumes, but he said, surely you're interested in X-Men because this is about mutants. This is about people who society has decided are different and therefore inferior. Yes. And he said, and the demographic for the readers of the comics, and it's proved also to be the demographic of the huge fans of this series, are young blacks, young Jews, and young gays. Who identify with the mutants because they have felt in their own lives that their society wants to discard them in some way or disregard them. So recently out as a gay man, that I thought, and a gay director who appreciated that I would respond to that, it seemed to me an added bonus. But the real thrill was to be in a big Hollywood movie. And that's when we became real chums, sitting in the trailer waiting for Hugh Jackman to finish. Oh, but isn't it lovely that we have that? Yeah, and we keep going back. We've just been up to Montreal and did a month. Yeah. I mean, and you get to talk to Halle Berry. What are you eating these days? How's your love life? And, you know, she tells you. It's, don't underestimate. I mean, we're all fans. Actors are all fans. Yes. And when you get to work with people you've admired or lusted after, well, we're very lucky.
There were mornings, I shall never forget, going into the makeup trailer and finding every chair full. Because invariably, actresses are always called before the actors because they take longer. And one would be compelled to go from chair to chair, giving a kiss on the cheek to Halle Berry, Famke Janssen, Rebecca Stamos, Anna Paquin, Kelly Yu. I mean, it was
Hugh Jackman.
And Hugh Jackman. I must tell this story about Hugh because I told it in his presence recently. We had started filming the first X-Men film, and we didn't have a Wolverine. Well, we did have a Wolverine. He was cast, but he was on another movie, and it was running over, and they would not release him. So they quickly needed a Wolverine. And one day, this sweet, charming, rather boyish Australian turned up on the set in Toronto and told us that he got this call. He was coming up to do a screen test for the role of Wolverine. And we liked him. We sat and had coffee. He seemed a charming chap. And off he went, did his screen test. And he came back about an hour later, and he said, well, I'm going to say goodbye because you're never going to see me again.
And I'd seen Hugh in his British premiere as a performer in
Oklahoma.
Oh, what a beautiful morning, in Trevor Nunn's production. And singing the part of Judge, oh, poor Judge is dead, was Sheila Hensley, who
That's right.
now getting to work.
Do you remember in the trailer on the first X-Men what it was that you guys were talking about when you realized, okay, this wasn't just two colleagues who've been in the business together for a long time, that it was going deeper than that toward friendship?
I think it was when when I began to find out that this actor that I had admired for afar for so long had so many things in common with me. Background, interest, passion about Shakespeare, passion about being on stage in front of live audiences. I think that's what began to cement it.
And, you know, I was very impressed with what Patrick had done. I had the distinction of, apparently, being the only friend who advised him not to do Star Trek.
Is this true?
Yeah.
What did you say to him?
Well, we happened to be in LA at the same time, and you said that this possibility was on offer. I said, it could be 7 years away from London, away from your theatre career. I think you must have thought about that and decided there were other reasons more positive, and he took it. But there he was now arriving on trailing the glory of that success. I mean, not just as an actor, but as a director of some of those shows. And you know, a thoroughgoing movie star and an international name, which absolutely I was not. And so I was sitting at his feet learning how to ask for a better trailer and things like that. Oh. No, and watching you work, and you know, it's you get a chance, more so than in the theatre, in film, of watching the other actors do their work. You're behind the camera. You're not required to give a full-out performance, but they are, and you're very close to them, and you see them do it. And you know, you get to see the masters at work close up. That's thrilling. I had that recently with Martin Freeman in playing Bilbo in the Hobbit movies. He's thrilling.
Ian, when you started that year-long epic shoot on the Lord of the Rings movies in 1999, I mean, did you have a sense of what those movies could become, or did it all seem like, wow, this is a very busy, very big production, but I'm not sure what it's going to lead to? What was
it's difficult to remember that, but that in 2000, the internet was a very new thing. And somehow it intrigued me, and I got onto it, and wrote a blog. I called it something else. I called it an e-post, but I kept a diary. I think I invented blogging, but not unfortunately the actual words. So,
Right.
But the other person there who was equally keen on communicating with people beyond the production about the films was Peter Jackson, the director. And daily he would come and say, they're waiting for this movie. And I would go into him and say, they're worried about this movie. They want to be certain that Tom Bombadil is going to be in it. And what are you going to do when they discover he isn't? And so we were communicating with fans, and so we had a sense, which is rare when you're making a film, that there was an audience ready for it. Would they like it was the tension. When they liked the first film, and we were back in New Zealand getting the second and third ready, we knew we were making a film for fans of the film. So there was a relaxed atmosphere. We just got to do it as well as we possibly can because they are going to enjoy it. And you know, people forget the only reason we act is for you. A play without an audience, it doesn't exist. It's just a rehearsal. It's preparation for the moment when the audience arrives. And it's the same with the film. The disadvantage of, of course, acting with the camera is that you're never in the presence of the audience.
Right.
But we knew there was an audience, and that's what made Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit special, that we were part of a big international family.